Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Harakakadash, the one of the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and Shalom to the brothers doing the work in truth. Yeah. So yeah, the bank basically, getting nuked today. I think it'd been tanking from what's today? Earlier in the week. From yesterday, but now it's just been done. It's done. It's washed. So it's on NBC. It says regulators shut down Silicon Valley Bank in biggest collapse since 2008 financial crash. The FDIC took over the lender, the 16th largest U.S. bank and a tech industry favorite, after a run on deposits and concerns about a broader crisis that led investors to dump other bank stocks. Let's see what this broad's got to say.
Alarm outside headquarters of Silicon Valley Bank in Santa Clara, California today.
They just came out and told us that the bank is shut down.
SVB, the 16th largest bank in the U.S. with $175 billion in deposits, is now the biggest American bank to fail since the 2008 financial crisis. Its customers are primarily businesses and investors in the tech sector.
The root cause of the failure.
It's funny as well because apparently it's used by like Silicon Valley companies. So the it will go into it later in the video, but a brother mentioned in the chat that what is it, that the deposits I think legally are covered by the US government up to 250k, but because of who used this bank, it's only like 2.7% of deposits that are like below 250k. So 97 point something percent of people have lost shitloads of money. So it's a bunch of businesses could go fucking kaput off the back of like their capability to operate just being nuked off the face of the earth. But we'll see, because those kind of things will become evident very quickly. It's interesting because this seems like it's just kind of come from like a fucking come from the middle of nowhere. But looking at it, it's wild still. It's fucking wild. Is it gonna play?
Which, that part of the job of a bank is to manage interest rate risk, and that didn't happen here.
Earlier this week, SVB disclosed it took a loss on the sale of bonds due to rising interest rates and announced it would sell shares to shore up its balance sheet. Its stock.
Reload it.
Alarm outside headquarters of Silicon sheet. Its stock price plunged and customers rushed to take their money out. The FDIC now stepping in, telling customers they will be able to access funds by Monday, but the guaranteed amount per depositor, $250,000.
A heart-stopping moment of this bank is done.
Ashley Trenier is the CEO of healthcare startup Farmbox RX. Unable to access her money today, she fears she could be out more than $10 million.
$250,000.
Yes. Oh shit, bro. Oh, that's wild. Bruv, it's actually mad because it's like that's the account. Like if it's a business account, you just been taking payments and that shit. So that could have been, bro. Man said just 10 mil liquidated, just shot into the sun. That is fucking funny. That is real fucking funny. But that's it's funny as well, because this I remember 2008 over here. I think the first bank that kind of went kaput was Northern Rock. I think Northern Rock was the one that didn't get any help, so it just fully went kaput, and a bunch of people lost money that would have been in the bank. So you had, I remember on TV, you had people queuing just like in this picture here. Let me pause it. Actually,
$1,000 isn't a ton of money to us when you're talking of 8 figures that's in the bank currently.
Concern over today's collapse of SVB drove Wall Street lower. The banking sector alone down more than 4%. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen.
There are recent developments that concern a few banks that I'm monitoring very carefully.
The immediate concern? The cash-burning startups who have millions in SVB and may not be able to access the money they need to pay bills or make payroll.
Deirdre, given what happened today, how much concern is there about the banking sector overall?
Lester, at this point, the issue seems contained to this one bank. SVB was so heavily focused on these startup tech companies that its business model put it in a risky position that the major banks don't face in the same way. Lester?
Deirdre Bosa tonight, thank you.
No.
Tonight, embattled...
Jesus. That remains to be seen. Because, there'll be a few other banks that might, have similar clientele. So we'll see how many men go down. But like I was saying, in 2008, it was over in the UK. It was Northern Rock, and I remember you were seeing footage of people queuing up and losing all savings, man. Their whole account was fucking nuked off the face of the earth. And then, the hell else did you get? You got the whole thingy getting nuked off the face of the sun. And then, what was the other thing I was thinking? Oh, in the US. In the US, it was, what, Lehman Brothers? Lehman Brothers, I believe. They're doing a movie about them as well. Lehman Brothers. Well, I think it'll be about the financial crash in general. But like, The Big Short was the other movie they did that kind of put, a lot of details of how the shit got fucking put on smash. But the thing with both of those, it was like one bank, had a run on it and went down, and then the whole system started crumbling, and then the government had to get involved and basically prop that shit up. So, we'll see. This is the first one, and everyone's 2008 ain't that long ago. That's actually 15 years now? Yeah, 15 years this year. So that'll be fresh in people's minds. So, we'll see how fucking peak it is. So it says, the closure marks the biggest bank failure since the 2008 financial crisis, and the second largest in U.S. history after Washington Mutual collapsed during the industry-wide meltdown, according to FDIC data. As of the end of December, the Santa Clara, California-based bank, the 16th largest bank in the country, has $209 billion in assets, with more than $175 billion in deposits. As with other FDIC member banks, SVB deposits are insured up to $250,000 per deposit. But the FDIC has yet to determine how many of those deposits exceed that insurance limit, and the agency said it was working over the weekend to pin that down. Uninsured depositors, for their part, will receive an advanced dividend as well as a receivership certificate for the remaining amount. As the FDIC sells the assets, future dividend payments may be made to uninsured depositors. So it depends on how much real shit they're holding. They're holding a bunch of fucking monopoly money, then that's a wrap. Man are only getting $250K. It's toast. You're done. Silicon Valley Bank referred requests for comments Friday to FDIC's takeover notice. The shutdown came after a tumultuous morning for SVB, during which trading of its share was halted after they fell by double digits before markets opened. So yeah, so that shit must have been toast. It must have been toast. That downside came on the heels of more than a 60% decline Thursday. Worries over a run on SVB led Wall Street investors to dump other bank stocks, as well. Shares of some prominent West Coast lenders took sharp nosedives Friday, including First Republic Bank, PacWest Bancorp, and Western Alliance Bank Corporation. So yeah, there's a couple other banks that are getting affected, but if, they're ready to collapse, it'll remain to be seen. There might have been some funny business going on. This, it might only be the one for the minute, but we'll see. Even with the one going down, there's going to be ripples going out, and we'll see what it impacts. Because whatever businesses money was holding on to, it's at $209 billion. That can tank a lot of businesses, lose a lot of jobs, do all kinds of shit, or even have other people getting hands off with a couple more banks, which could result in what? A cascade effect, and that's when it gets peak. Says the bank even called the New York Police Department on Friday morning as customers began lining up outside its Park Avenue offices to get their money, but officers who arrived on the scene left after determining there was nothing criminal happening. An NYPD spokesperson said, "Yes, they didn't even wallop in the heads of the men coming for their money. Truth be told, the way they're coming for their money, like if they did that, they'll it'll go insane. But them calling the police is like, well, they would have wanted them to to go in there and start fucking uppercutting everyone, hitting them with a kamehameha and whatnot to get them out of there. But hey, even with that, the banks toast. Banks toast. So yeah, it's got the biggest banks with the billions of dollars of assets at the 20 largest US banks. So JP Morgan, Bank of America, Citibank, blah blah blah. And then what? Silicon Valley Bank's at 209. So there's Morgan Stanley's got two separate banks. Well, whatever. There's other people in that kind of range, but whether they're gonna kind of feel it as well, we'll see. Jitters around the bank followed the news this week that Silvergate, a much smaller bank, largely focused on the cryptocurrency industry, announced plans to shut down. For SVB, the drama started earlier this week when it disclosed it sold about $21 billion of securities and proposed to offer over $1 billion in shares, all to fundraise for general corporate purposes. Jesus. Okay. So yeah, they started the death spiral off saying, like, hey guys, you want to invest a bit? And just said like, yo, we need an extra billion. Like, say, these men are fucking having a laugh. On Thursday, the information reported that the CEO said to stay calm. And then the shit got nuked. That is fucking funny. Well, as I say, Jeremiah 51:7, it says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord Jehovah's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Yeah. Babylon's been drunken. Drunken. The nation's been drunken off that Babylon, man. They're all caught up in the system. They're enraptured by it. But what? Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. Yeah. Babylon's fallen and destroyed. You already seen from 2008 that the financial system has basically become, something that is, it's a Frankenstein's monster that's just been zapped and brought to life, to walk around and pretend like it's a healthy creature. But the core of how the society works, it's become fundamentally broken, man. That monetary system is maintained by what? The manipulation of certain aspects of how it runs, so that it can maintain the illusion of appearing like a regular healthy economy. But it can only go so far. Says we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Yeah. Everyone's gonna flee, everyone's gonna return home. Because why? The whole, Babylon experiment, everyone's going, nah. This ain't no one. War aguaning. War aguaning indeed. Isaiah 30:1, it says, Woe to rebellious children, saith the Lord Jehovah, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. The walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Yeah. Everyone's all invested, Jake especially. Really, all these different nations that come to America, come to Babylon, they what? They all throw in with the system. They invest, they see, there's opportunity here, there's these capabilities, I want to try and make things happen. Where, 15, 20 years ago, they might be thinking like, I want to become an actress, I want to become a model. Remember when, was that called, what show called, America's Next Top Model was on. Every girl you talk to would be saying like, they want to become a model, actor, Now it's like, entrepreneur, a social media influencer, whatever the hell. They're thinking that's just all that they just want to become that. But lo and fucking behold, what all those things are decaying, man. And in general, the structure of Babylon's decaying to where, things are occurring, man. A bank going kaput ain't even that regular news. Like I said, it was second biggest in American history. Second biggest bank closure. So, let's speak. Or, we'll wait and see. Fuck, James 5:1, it says, Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. Yeah. The rich men, those elites who basically what? Have higher degrees of power and have access to actual wealth. These guys are utilizing all these systems to consolidate the systems of modern banking. But then what? It's all that they're able to achieve. All the blessings they've been heaping on themselves. Especially from the monetary wealth making things capable. All of that's gonna come to a crashing halt, because it'll reach a point where a guy will ignore so-called money and then just be like, okay, well, he's just gonna have to do a madness. Because why? Because that money ain't doing anything for him. It's useless. And that's how that circumstance these guys have, and they're gonna be found to be men. The rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Yeah. That all those riches that have been amassed by the elites that allow them to to exert their control. That's what, for the sake of the elect. It's gonna get nabbed, man. Just like the Egyptians got spoiled. Hey, these Americans gonna get spoiled too. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Yeah, shalom, shalom. Yahweh Shem Shalom. Shalom.